What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we're going to take a look at some of the latest emails that you guys have sent me, as well as comments. You guys are commenting on the Social Security Fairness Act. You're commenting on the Social Security as a whole, updates, reforms, all of that. So we're going to talk about some of that stuff in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. And also, I'm asking people to share their stories when it comes to retirement, some of the positives, the negatives. So you guys can share your story. Send me an email, david@thetecshow.com. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the latest comments and emails. Here we go. Okay, first comment is coming from Steve. Steve, thanks for the comment. It says, "Hi, David. Do you have any info on people affected by WEP who live overseas? I'm in Denmark. Still no correction on my Social Security. Thanks." Okay, so I have heard from some people that live overseas, and they've indicated that they received their retro payment as well as they received the monthly increase. Now, when you're living overseas, it's a little more difficult when it comes to contacting the Social Security Administration and having them send you letters and all of that. If you have a My Social Security account, that would help. You'd be able to at least look in and see if they've updated any information on your digital profile. But when it comes down to it, people are receiving, there's no barrier there. So if you're living in most countries all over the world, and realistically, there are only a handful of countries where you're not going to be able to receive your Social Security benefits, mainly Cuba and North Korea. So you should be able to receive those benefits, and you're probably already receiving your benefits. That's why you're asking about any updates when it comes to people that qualify under WEP and GPO. So in this situation, I would call the Social Security Administration. I'm telling everyone at this point, if you haven't received any information, to call them. You know, if you qualify for the Social Security Fairness Act, then call them and say, look, I qualify for the Social Security Fairness Act. I haven't heard anything, and see what they tell you. And then from that point, you should be receiving that increase. The Social Security Administration has given a deadline month. The deadline month is in November. And so right now they're still processing these payments, and they'll have until November in order to issue out those payments. Okay, next comment is coming from Marlene. Marlene, thanks for the comment. Says, really enjoy the information you provide. I talked with Social Security today about the Social Security Fairness Act and was told I got 6 months instead of 1 year. I applied for both options when I became eligible for Social Security. Can you please explain the rule for getting a year as opposed to a 6-month reimbursement? And then she says down here, spousal. So she's referring to spousal benefits. Okay, so what is going on when it comes to the retro payments, 1 year or 6 months? So what a lot of people have been doing is, and I'll give you a scenario and then hopefully we can work through it. And so let's say 5 years ago, you wanted to apply for spousal benefits and you called up the Social Security Administration and they told you, you know what, you're not going to receive anything in spousal benefits because you're receiving this pension. And so it's going to negate it. It's going to be zero. And so you decide not to apply. But 5 years ago, if you would have applied, then guess what? It would have been better off for you. However, you didn't, and then you waited, and the Social Security Fairness Act passed, and on January 5th, President Biden at the time, signed it into law. And so at that point, you call the Social Security Administration again, and they told you, guess what? Now that they've eliminated GPO, you're going to qualify for spousal benefits, and you'll receive your benefits. And so you say, okay, and you go ahead and apply. And then they tell you, okay, we can go back 6 months because you would have qualified for spousal benefits 6 months prior. So we'll go back to 6 months and we'll give you retro for 6 months, but not for the year. And then you're thinking, well, why don't you give it to me for the year? Because I would have really qualified 5 years ago, but they told me not to apply. And so this is what's happening to a lot of people. And the rule is right now, if you apply for spousal benefits prior to January of 2024, then you're going to receive that full year. But since she applied January of 2025, she's not going to receive the full retro. And so you do have some senators right now that they're on to this, and they sent a letter demanding that we take a look at this and adjust it and make the adjustments, because we have the Social Security Administration telling you or discouraging you from applying 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, saying that you're not going to receive anything in benefits. And so people didn't apply, and that's the only reason they didn't apply. And so it's caught some senators' attention. We'll have to see if they move forward with some type of legislation that will make that change, so people will be able to receive that full year if they would have qualified. And that's basically what they should be looking at. If you would have qualified for spousal benefits in January of 2024, you should receive that full year. That's really what they should be looking at. But at this point, they're not. They're looking at when you actually applied. Okay, next comment's coming from Abe. Abe, thanks for the comment. It says, I worked as a police officer for 23 years and did not pay into Social Security. Still nothing, and it is May 10th. He put here a hoax, question mark. Why do you guys get seniors' hopes up for nothing? Okay, so when it comes to the Social Security Fairness Act, first off, you need to know if you qualify. And you need to find out that information. So you could work as a police officer, you could pay into a pension. If you're not paying into Social Security, you probably will qualify. But there are people that pay into pensions and they don't know exactly where all their money's going, so they're paying into a pension. They're also paying into Social Security, or they just don't qualify for under the Social Security Fairness Act. So they're not going to receive an increase. But if you are in this situation and you have not heard anything from the Social Security Administration and you think you qualify, then you need to contact the Social Security Administration and ask them, what is my situation? I should qualify. I didn't pay into Social Security. I have not received any information from you guys. And then they'll let you know. We're looking into it, we're processing it, or they'll tell you that you don't qualify. And then if you want to, you can appeal if you want to move that route. But don't just assume that because you're receiving a pension that you automatically qualify under the Social Security Fairness Act, because that might not be the case for you. And then I would also add, people are receiving these increases. People that are close to me are receiving these increases, not just people online. So if you think that it's a hoax or you think that this is not real, it is real. So people who qualify under the Social Security Fairness Act, they are receiving the lump sum payment as well as the monthly increases. Okay, next comment is coming from Benefits Uncovered. It says, I've been following the Social Security Fairness Act updates closely, and while the idea of retroactive payments and increased checks sound promising, I know many people are still waiting and wondering if anything will actually show up. Personally, I think the intent is good, but the rollout and the communication could definitely be clearer. Have you noticed any changes in your benefits yet? And then there was a reply to this from Pam. It says, I've received both retro and monthly increase. It's coming. It will be worth the wait. Plus, the longer it takes, the bigger the retro pay will be. Okay, and this is also what I'm telling people. It will come. Okay, if you do qualify, you will receive your increase and your lump sum payment. So you're going to have to be a little bit patient. And right now, the deadline date that they're giving us, the deadline month really is November. So we'll have to see if they can come through in November. There are some other things that are going to be going on with Social Security in the coming months. The elimination of taxes for people receiving Social Security benefits. We'll have to see if this reconciliation bill has that in it, as well as they're going to have to work out COLA. So July, August, September, they're going to take those months. They're going to calculate COLA. So in October, we'll receive the information for COLA for 2026. So there's some things that Social Security is going to be looking at doing in the coming months. But as of right now, they're doing a pretty good job of getting this out, rolling it out. Now, the communication could be better. I would agree with the commenter there. It could be better. But I think they actually started to get these checks out and they're moving forward. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. And the last time I checked the website, they were over 70% processed. So they're getting there. They're getting to the end here. Okay, next comment is from Souza, and Souza is replying to a video that I posted regarding the new commissioner to the Social Security Administration, so Mr. Bisignano, and she says, I don't understand what this means. Is this guy going to help seniors or what? So coming in as a new commissioner, new Social Security commissioner, you are the head of the Social Security Administration, which means that you set the direction that the Social Security Administration goes in. Now, you don't have the power of the purse like Congress does, so you can't just say, okay, we're going to bring in this new money and all this stuff. You can't do that. Congress has to do that. But you are the head, and you can report to Congress what you feel is most important. So if that is call times, which they've talked about call times in the past, you can report to Congress and say, look, we need more people. We need to hire more people. You can also give information to Congress saying that you need to update systems and all this stuff. So you have the ability, you will have a budget. So if you have a budget, that means you can spend money on certain areas. But when it comes to will Mr. Bisignano help Social Security or hurt Social Security, at this point, we don't know. We don't know what his real intentions are, so we'll have to find out. Only time will tell. But now that we have a new commissioner, it's good because now you have someone to point to. Before, we had these acting commissioners, and so now we actually have someone to say, look, this is your responsibility. Are you taking care of it, or are you not taking care of it? So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.